Hi guys, and welcome to my 66th video. Thank you so much for joining me if you are a return subscriber, or hello if you are new. My name's Adrina. I'm an Australian teacher and mum, currently on a break at the moment, trying to figure out this whole teacherpreneur online space, selling my teaching resources and clip art on Teachers Pay Teachers and online. Now, first of all, I just want to say Happy New Year. I mean, we are almost at the end of January, I know, but I haven't had the chance to be able to say Happy New Year to all my subscribers here on YouTube. And I just wanted to say I hope that you guys all had a lovely Christmas and you got to spend time with family, or even if you didn't, that you just had a nice one. So we are now in 2023 and oh my goodness, to start off the year with a bang, of course I got COVID. So I got COVID on New Year's Eve along with two of my other friends, and that was an interesting experience. I was the last one out of my family to actually get it. My sister got it just before Christmas and I got it just after Christmas. So overall I'm feeling pretty good. I would say about 99% now. I still have this kind of like lingering random cough, and that was really interesting because like just randomly I'll just start coughing. And throughout my experience of COVID, I was pretty lucky, I'd say, because all the symptoms that I had really were like just really tired, lethargic really, and I did have a bit of a headache. It wasn't unbearable or anything like that, just a little bit of a headache. But I never get headaches, so that was kind of like a telltale sign for me. But the most worst thing was me just really wanting to sleep, and just, you know, my body was like telling me I need to sleep, I need to recover, I need to just heal. So I didn't really have any runny nose, any harsh cough or anything like that, any heart issues as far as I know, and I am grateful for that. Even though I didn't feel 100% throughout those days that I had COVID, I feel grateful that at least it wasn't as bad as it could have been, because I know that my sister, she had a pretty bad time with it actually, and she had to be hospitalized at one point, but she didn't know she actually had COVID at the time, and that was kind of crazy because she did like the tests, they were all coming up negative, and then she went to the hospital feeling really unwell, and that's where they found out she was COVID positive. So that was really interesting, and I'm just glad, because having to look after a toddler in the terrible twos, you guys, and having COVID at the same time, oh my goodness. And I don't have much support here where I live for that type of stuff with my son, and my partner works away sometimes, so yeah, that was kind of tricky. But we basically just had a week of Netflix, and I like watched the whole season of Ginny and Georgia, and so I'm like all up to date now. And yeah, so it was just like a Netflix binge sesh. And so bringing me into business side now. And so the end of 2022 got really busy for me actually. Obviously everyone's pretty busy in December, but it was busy because obviously I had to do a lot of shopping, Christmas organization, and throughout the month of December I really tried to also like declutter my house. I literally went through a lot of the cupboards, a lot of little man's old clothes, and I put them on like boxes and put them and organized them all, organized all my Christmas stuff, all the things that I needed to catch up on. I really tried to make the effort to do that. And so I'm pretty happy with that. I still have a little bit more to go with that. But yeah, December was just so hectic because you've got Christmas shopping, you've got organising to go visit family. We went to Brisbane to go visit a family member, and that was really nice because we got to spend Christmas all together, besides my other sister who didn't get to make it to this Christmas this time because she was having Christmas with her family, who'd come over from Ireland, her partner's family, sorry, that came over from Ireland. And yeah, it was just nice to have Christmas all together in a different city, and yeah, it was just nice. But now I'm kind of like ready to kind of get back into my TPT game. So it was nice to have that little Christmas break and to have a bit of downtime with the family. That was really nice, and just to kind of get the cousins together and to see them happy around Christmas and playing together. That was really nice. And so yeah, bringing it back to now January of 2023, this month now, And I didn't expect coming into 2023 to have COVID, but that happened. So then I just really want to kind of let that really heal before I did any more videos or did more. I didn't want to put pressure on myself or make myself feel like I had to put something out if I wasn't feeling 100%. And I'm just glad if you've kind of been patient throughout the weeks, if you've been waiting for a video or anything. I'm just glad that you've had the patience here and you've come back to watch this video. Although I'm feeling really good after having COVID, I do have this weird kind of like random underlying cough that just kind of sporadically comes out and hits me every now and again. So I'll just be like doing any random thing and I just start to cough randomly. That's one thing that I didn't have a cough while I had it, but a few weeks now after COVID, I've got this kind of like strange cough. So that's a bit odd. And it's interesting because I think one of my subscribers, Marina Art Design, I'm pretty sure she was the one that commented on my community tab when I actually posted that I had COVID, said that I hope like you heal up alright, because you know she still has a cough, and that kind of made me think, oh my goodness, I've just kind of got this random cough too. So we'll see how that goes and see if that dies down over the next few weeks. I'm not too sure, but hopefully it does, because it's kind of a bit annoying really. And then just today, actually, while I've been filming, I've kind of had this kind of weird thing in my ear. It kind of feels like it's a little echoey, or kind of like, I don't even know what to say. So as I'm talking to you guys right now, it just feels a bit strange. So that's just random as well. So I'll see if that goes away too. But other than that, feeling good, feeling ready to tackle on 2023. I'm really grateful to be able to do the videos again. Okay, so let's now talk about 2022 in review. So let's reflect on 2022. So for me, in 2022, for both my TPT businesses, of course I have Teachers and Clipart and the Creative Table, and I feel like there had been some good growths throughout those two businesses that I'm proud to say, you know, each year they have gone up from the prior year. So it's not actually at a point yet where I can really earn a full-time living off it or anything like that, but I am slowly growing, and I do have to appreciate the fact that I am raising a small child, doing that a lot on my own, of course with the support of my partner when he can, but I feel like it's like a part-time thing that I'm doing this. I don't have all the hours or time to dedicate as much as I'd like to, but I really feel like I've made the effort. I've really tried to do what I can to build my business in 2022, and I feel like going on into 2023 I just want to really refine those things and kind of get to a point where I understand the business more holistically as well, and have things that are easy to access. I want to sort out like my digital files and things like that. So that was kind of what I had in the back of my mind from 2022 to go into 2023. I didn't start an email list, which is something that I kind of wanted to do last year, and I kind of had that planned out for August of last year, and that just did not happen. And sometimes when you are looking and reflecting on like plans or what you want to achieve, sometimes they can only be a guide, because plans change, life happens, and that's okay. And we just kind of got to work around that. And one thing that I really kind of wanted to reflect on for 2022 is moving forward into 2023. I want to appreciate that this is not a race, that this is not something that I have to rush. You know, I don't have to rush this. I can take it slow, and if you know I'm growing slower than other people, that's okay. And like my journey is so different to others, and if I'm growing faster than someone else, like that's okay too, because everyone's journey is different. And I just really want to acknowledge that, because you know when you're looking at other people online, you're like, oh my gosh, they're already like making their full-time salary or whatever. Like it can be like so motivating, but then also like you're thinking, oh my goodness, like I'm not there yet. But a lot of hard work goes into this, and it depends on the person's amount of time that they commit to this, what they sell, what their expertise is. There's so many different variables that come and take into place with these kind of businesses. So it's really, I guess, trial and error for yourself to see what works for you. And I'm just here trying to share that with you guys to see kind of what's working for me, what's not, and those kind of things. But 2022, I enjoyed 2022. I had a good time trying to build up my product listings And of course, you know, I've had the challenge of doing that alongside raising a son and a very energetic one at that. So that's something that I'm proud of, to be able to do that and to see things still growing. Even like with the month that I've had away, things are still growing even though I haven't put as much into my business the last month. So that pleases me in the way of like, you know, that is where it kind of gets to the point where that hard work up front does pay off in the long run, but you do need to keep that consistency. So I want to talk now about, like, that was just a very brief kind of explanation of how I felt about 2022, but I really kind of want to give you some more details of what I'm kind of planning for 2023. And I do want to just take you over shortly and show you my vision board too, but I want to say I'm going to just break these into two little categories. So I'm going to talk about business and then I'm going to talk about personal stuff. So business first, and then we'll go into the personal stuff and then just chat about that. But I got some notes. So coming into 2023, I really want to think, like, what do I want to prioritize in the business for 2023? And for me, it was like refining those systems. So I really, at the beginning of this year, I really wanted to make sure that I've done a digital declutter. So on my computer, I had files kind of like, they were organized but not organized to the way that I'd be happy with and that it's ease of access. So I really spent last Monday, I think it was, organizing those files, really doing the whole decluttering thing, getting rid of what I didn't need, filing things in a nice system where it's easy to access, and just so I know exactly where things are, and, you know, having things in a more organized system. That took a lot of time. Like, I spent probably 1 to 2 days organizing my whole computer, organizing my whole external hard drives. I've got 1 or 2 files left I've just got to sort, but the rest is organized, and I'm really happy about that because I had them on 2 different hard drives and they were kind of a little bit mixed up. They were sorted, but they were just kind of mixed. And then I had all my school stuff from when I was teaching and just like all the things in between over the years. And so you can just imagine like 4 or 5 years worth of digital downloads and things I had to sort through. I've spent those 2 days up front organizing all of that, and my brain and just my thought of when I am opening my computer, I just feel at so much more ease now. Like, it took a long time to declutter all of it, but I feel so much at ease now that everything's organized in my folders. It's like when you have a clean home and you just like everything's organized in a place, and then it's like, okay, that's the same feeling as when it's on your computer as well. So I've done my digital declutter and clean out, tick that off the list. That is something that I want to prioritize. And so now when I'm like trying to access files, like I said, I know exactly where to go. I'm not like shifting through things thinking, where did I put that? Like, I know exactly where it is now because I've just sorted it all out. So that's something I feel like is going to benefit me long term for 2023. It's going to make my workflow so much easier. And with that, I've also invested in something. I've never done this before. I never had like a iCloud or backup service, but I was actually reading on the Facebook forums and I came across someone that said they use Backblaze to back up their files. So I was like, okay, this sounds good. I looked into it. I was like, this sounds like it could be right for me. So now I've got Backblaze backing up my files, and that gives me that extra security that anything on my computer, if something happens to my computer, which mind you, it has in the past, I've lost files in the past, and I've not been very happy about that, and I still was like kind of just, I hadn't backed them up fully, but now I feel like so much more at ease. I found something that I feel good with, it feels in alignment, and I'm using that now. I've just only purchased that just very recently, but so far I really like it. So far so good. And yeah, it just, at the moment, it gives me that little extra peace of mind if something happens to my computer that I've got those backups there and I can access them. So that's a plus in my book. Now mind you, it is something that I have to pay for. I think it costs me about $10 a month, but at this point I am obviously getting the business to pay for that, and so I'm pretty happy that like I can now, with my TPT money and stuff like that, be able to afford that every month to be able to pay for something like that. So happy about that. I'm really feeling more secure in my file system, and I know that like some people do use like Google Drive and stuff like that, but I've just got too many files for that. So I think that's why Backblaze was a better option for me, because it's the external hard drives as well that I need backing up. And I know Dropbox has had really good reviews, but price wise and for what I feel like I'm going to be needing it for, I just need something very simple to back it up if I need to access it. That's my idea about it. So I don't need any fancy stuff. I just need something to make sure if something goes wrong with my computer, I've got backups. And so that's why I kind of like chose Backblaze over Dropbox, and Dropbox is a little bit more expensive, but again, I've heard good reviews on Dropbox, so we'll see. I'll let you know in a few months time if I still feel the same about Backblaze, but so far, like I said, so good. Okay, so this year in 2023, I do really want to focus on my product creation for my TPT businesses and for other marketplaces that I've got going online as well. So I will talk about that in a moment, but I do want to just share with you guys some cool Christmas gifts that I got that are also for my business. So I'm very lucky that my partner kind of is quite supportive of this, of what I'm trying to do here online and stuff like that. So I'm grateful for that. And he, for my birthday and my Christmas gift, because I have a birthday in December, I'm a Sagittarius, and so now I'm 28, you guys, 28 years old, but I haven't actually I haven't told anyone my age, I don't think, but yeah, I'm 28, and 28 now. And I just want to show you, so I've got this Christmas/birthday, my partner bought me this Blue Yeti microphone, so I'll be using these for my income reports. And I have not opened this, but I'm so excited to actually use this. This is supposed to be a pretty good like microphone. I mean, for $298, I'd hope it would be. But yeah, let me know if you see in my income reports like the audio quality becoming better, because it's funny because I did actually notice someone left a comment on my last video where I didn't use my normal audio setup, and they're like, oh, something's happening to like your audio. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you noticed that, because I was like, I was just seeing if anyone would notice, and they did. So yeah, let's hope this is a lot nicer for you guys for the audio experience on my YouTube videos. Another thing that I got that was kind of cool for my Christmas/birthday gift was this little guy. This is like a portable photo studio, so I thought this would be a cool way to be able to take like product photos, or even like I was thinking possibly even creating some sort of like digital clip art of images. That's something that I'm thinking I might be able to do. So see how I've got like the headphones in there, like doing a nice crisp, clear kind of like clip art set of images of like things in the real world. So that's just something. Obviously I haven't opened this or like really tried to use it yet, so I don't know if that's going to really truly work, but it was just nice that my partner kind of thought about that when I was talking to him about things that like could be helpful for me in the business and stuff like that. And so yeah, that was nice that he got me that as a gift. And then so I do already have a ring light, but this is my last gift that he bought me as well for my Christmas/birthday. And it's like a cool little ring light. It's got all these different colors. So I don't actually know how I'm going to use this yet, but I'm going to figure out what I'm going to use this for. I might even try and add these in the back of my videos or something like that. I don't know. I'll just play around with this, but I haven't opened this one yet either. So I'll see how that goes. You can also like, these are from JB Hi-Fi if you're in Australia, but you can kind of put your phone there. So maybe I'll try and do some cool things with this. I don't know yet, but yeah, I'm just kind of like excited to use them when I have the chance. And lastly, one other thing I want to just point out, something that I got for Christmas was this cool book by Victoria Devine. So if you are Australian and you don't listen to She's on the Money, you need to go and listen to She's on the Money podcast. Like, there's so many things that I've learned from the She's on the Money podcast. It is honestly such a vibrant, really awesome community that teaches like women. It focuses on women and their stories and their money habits and money wins, money goals, and just like getting your financial health at an optimal level. So this is a book that I've been actually really wanting to get, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited to. And if you are Aussie, it is primarily aimed at Australian people, but there are still probably good stories that you could listen if you're not from Australia, but it is very Aussie based. But yeah, I really love the podcast, and I'm just grateful that my sister got this for me for Christmas. So this year, you'll see in a moment when I show you my vision board, micro investing is something that I've got on my scope of vision of what I want to be doing. And so yeah, this I feel like is going to give me some more knowledge to help me with the whole financial aspect of learning about these things, because let's be honest, let's be real, we don't really get taught about all this kind of business world, financial health, freedom, all that kind of stuff in school. We just don't. So it's kind of like we get chucked to the wolves and we've got to figure it out ourselves. So unless you got parents that know about finance or know about business or have a good understanding and taught you that financial literacy, then they don't teach you the things that you need. They don't really teach you the things that you really need to know throughout school. And I remember thinking like, I wish I learned when I was in high school. I remember thinking like, I wish I kind of learned more about those things looking back in hindsight, but also when I was in high school too. It was a while ago, but just kind of thinking I wish we did more of like how to buy a house sort of stuff, how to like do taxes, what's this whole superannuation and investing and all that kind of stuff. I wish we did more of that in school to help us in the real world, because yeah, like I said, you kind of get out into the real world and you're like, oh my goodness, I just realized I have a different money story to someone, and then like your beliefs and ideas of how you grew up with money is completely different to others. And yeah, there's just so many different elements that come to money and finance and all that stuff. But this book, this podcast is an amazing one to listen to if you are Australian, so definitely recommend. So with that said, let me just take you to my vision board, and I have done it digitally this year. So you might see in the corner that I do have like this was like one from last year. I don't know if I'm going to take that one down. There's some things on there that I still want to keep as my on my vision board, but I've done it digitally this time because I can also access it on my phone to kind of like reflect and look at it more frequently, and just because it's so much more easier to edit and update. So I'm going to take you over to my Trello board and I'm going to show you my vision board for 2023. Let's do it. Alright, I just can't help myself, and I think I might actually open this now and try and use this while I'm doing my vision board. Okay, so this blue Yeti comes in like this little box. Oh my gosh. Got this little card. Hello. Oh my gosh, it's massive. So that's the new microphone, you guys. Oh, it feels like professional. That's so funny. Okay. Well, that is that. So that's gonna be that. Oh my gosh, I feel so weird. Like that's so much better than trying to film on my iPhone. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is exciting. I hope this actually is a good audio. So with that, I'm going to actually use my blue Yeti. I'm going to plug this in and I'm going to use that for my next part for the vision board. Let's do it. To my computer, it is Friday the 20th of January 2023. So I just want to show you guys, got my new background right here. And I'm going to go and take you over to my vision board in a moment, but I am just going to show you what I was speaking about before with the back blaze. So this is the little back blaze backup situation that I've got going on. So it consistently or continuously backs it up, and so I've got it connected to both of my hard drives that I've got on my computer. So if anything happens to those, all the files are backed up. So I'm really happy with that for now. And they do actually give a free trial up to 10 gig from what I remember seeing on their website. It's still, obviously you can see there's quite a few files still remaining, but you can see you are backed up as of, and they kind of give you a time and date. So I'm really happy with that. I just need something simple at this point to kind of get that little extra security. Now for my vision board, like I was saying, I host it on Trello, and again, I have mentioned this in the past, I do want to do some videos on Trello, but I'm just not there yet with where I want my Trello stuff to be. I've gotten some good Trello boards up, but I'm still just need that little extra time to really get into Trello and use it to its full capacity before I kind of show you guys how I truly use it. But I have made this vision board that I didn't make last year, and I've done it on Trello because I wanted to have something that was more easy to edit, and just with a little one at home, my time is limited, so I just feel like this was an easier way, and I could just alter and move things in and out a bit more. So you can do vision boards any way that you like, but I'm just trying it more digital this year. So I want to open that up. So this is kind of like my whole life vision board situation, and I'm going to make that bigger so you can kind of see. So I've added a lot of cards into this, and I've sectioned it out into each little category to kind of get myself in a space where I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I want for each of these sections. So I'll just give you a little sneak peek into my brain, I guess, into what I want out of life and what things that I have on my vision board. So this year I've got like my health section, I've got my fitness section, I've got my happiness section, my work situation, mindset I think is really important. I've always been like a mindset believer, and how you operate your mind is really important. And so I have a few things on there. Wealth, creation, I guess, learning, some things that I want to prioritize learning this year, what I want to do as a family, sort of just some main things, how I want my friendships to look, and these are obviously just like the big dreams, you know, the big kind of stuff, which I might show you a few things of what I've got on there. Now, when I started to use Trello, when I realized it was like a visual platform where you can add pictures like this, that's where I kind of changed my perspective on Trello, because I was like, okay, now if I can use pictures on this and not just like text, this is going to be a game changer for me. And it has been since I learnt about it in the conference in 2022, July of 2022. I had an awesome presentation in 2022 at the conference, so that really kind of gear started what I could see someone else had done to then create my own kind of stuff. So I've just got here 2023 vision board. Obviously I've mentioned in the video I'm 28 at the moment. So for this year I'm focusing on health, so focus on fueling my body with healthy vegetarian home cooked meals. So probably won't know this, I've never disclosed this, but I'm actually vegetarian. I've been vegetarian since I fell pregnant the first time in 2019. When I felt, this is kind of what started my vegetarian journey, but when I fell pregnant in 2019 for the first time, which did end up in miscarriage, but when I fell pregnant that time, I couldn't stand meat. Like, it just kind of disgusted me. And so through that pregnancy, I didn't really eat that much meat, and I just kind of really got off put from it. And I just felt good after not eating meat for a while, that I just felt like this is the way I sort of want to live my life more. And it just became more of how I felt in my body without meat, to then also, it kind of became also, but like empathizing with animals more as well. So it's kind of like a combination, but like my partner, he still eats meat and stuff like that, and he's very respective of my choices being vegetarian, and I'm respective of his, because I've always believed, like, I would never, you know, say for someone not to do something. This is what's good for my body and for me. So I really feel like the way I eat is not for everyone, and the way other people eat is not for me as well. So like, I just am respective of everyone, and you as a person should be able to choose what you put in and out of your body. And so that's my idea of the vegetarianism, I guess. But I've really loved being vegetarian, and yeah, I really want to this year find myself in like cooking more vegetarian home cooked meals, and like learning more about that too, incorporating a lot more variety as well. So I also like to have these on my vision board, because obviously after having a baby too, your body changes so much, and like, you know, it's not the same body that you used to know, and it's so hard because you're used to having that body prior to having kids, and you get used to that. And when after you've had a kid, you just feel like you've just been punched in the face, to be completely honest. And so I have to remind myself, like, it's moderation with food. If I want to hit my like health goals, I kind of keep that with food too. It's like the 80-20 rule. You do 80% good foods and then 20% like yummy treats and stuff like that. And so that's something. And again, also with me being vegetarian, I went through my second pregnancy with my little man, fully vegetarian as well. So, and I felt really good. I had no morning sickness, and I don't know if that's related or anything like that, but I just felt really good in my body. I did gain a lot of weight, however. He was at 8 pound 2, and I'm kind of petite, so that was kind of big. Like the nurse, she's like to me when I was giving birth, or after I gave birth, she's like, do not have another kid with this man. Like, the baby's head size was like way too big for you. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, well, I don't know how to feel about that. But anyway, the pregnancy went well, the birth went well, unmedicated, like fully natural, and it was just good. So I had a good experience with that. It's just more so trying to put myself back together after having the baby was the biggest thing for me. And sorry, I'm going so deep into this. I probably just need to not go so deep into that, but I just was here to do a brief overview, so I'll just try and speed this up a little bit. So anyway, I've got like prioritize health as a lifestyle, not a diet. So I don't want to get into that mind frame of like thinking it's just like I'm restricting to get back to my body goals, and just thinking it as a lifestyle, because I really do prioritize. I feel like health, if you don't have health, you have nothing. You know, you could be the richest person on the planet, but if your health is declining, what have you got, you know? So it's really important for me to kind of just really, as I'm getting older, I'm not even old, but like as I'm getting older into my 30s, I feel like I'm really trying to prioritize my health. So that's that. And again, just like eat more whole foods. And I do eat a lot of, I do eat fairly clean, to be completely honest, but after having baby, that kind of changed a little bit, whereas like I went from eating pretty clean to then having a lot of processed foods, because obviously when you're in the newborn phase and stuff like that, it's just so hard to be able to feed yourself because you've got this little being attached to you, and it's just really hard. Like, honestly, it's really hard. That was the one thing I was worried the most about having kids. It wasn't like birthing them or anything, or the stinky nappies or anything. It was just like how I was going to put myself back together afterwards, and also look after the child and myself, because before having kids, I just thought, you know, like sugar, some days I'm like, I feel like I couldn't even look after myself. After a big day of teaching, I was wrecked, you know, had to get my partner to cook dinner and stuff like that. So I just thought, how can I do this with a child? But as they say, you find a way, you just do. And so anyway, as my little son is now 2 and a bit, fitness now is kind of, I'm prioritizing that, so I'm able to kind of be able to go to the gym a bit more, and I really want to focus on that. And actually, speaking of the gym, after I film this, I'm going to go to the gym, because I really want to, it's not even about aesthetics to me at this point, but it's more about feeling strong in my body again. As you may know, if you've been following on this journey, like I used to go to the gym like 4, 5, sometimes 6 days a week, and I really enjoyed doing that. Mind you, I did do that out of stress. Like when I was teaching, that was my stress reliever, to go to the gym. That was like my happy place. That was why like I was kind of like a gym rat, because teaching back then, and in that particular situation that I was in that moment of time, it was very stressful to me, and it's almost traumatic when I think of it. But that's why I really found the gym at that point in my life, and I really want to prioritize going back to the gym, because obviously having baby, I haven't been able to as much, and having the time to, especially when I don't have yet like my fiance by my side every kind of night sort of thing. So it's hard to be able to go out. I can only go out certain days. So I also, alongside the gym, I want to also do some small home workout things, because I know that sometimes, you know, especially doing TPT, like you sit down a lot. Doing YouTube and TPT, oh my goodness, the amount of time you actually sit down, like editing takes hours, and like just filming, getting things right takes a long time, like hours. So I do a lot of sitting, and I need to do more exercise at home as well when I'm having those days. So that's something that I want to really incorporate in my fitness. And then also, as I was saying last year, I was really getting into yoga, and I've kind of fallen off the bandwagon over the Christmas period, but I really want to implement yoga back into my daily practice, because that was when I felt like most connected to feeling good in just my body, and also just in my flexibility as well, which was awesome. And I've used some of those stretches actually at the gym before I do a workout, and I really like that. And I can now do one of the yoga poses. I think that's just from strengthening at the gym over time, but I never thought I was going to be able to do it again. I've only just recently started to be able to do that, and I just really want to implement yoga into daily practice, because I just think it makes me feel good. So that's one thing with that. So health and fitness are a really big priority of mine for this year. And of course, happiness. You can see here I've written, get back to feeling like myself again, finding me after having a baby. It's the biggest thing that women don't talk about. Like, you go, like I said, from having this body that you're used to, your pre-pregnancy body, knowing that body, and then feeling so weak and so not put together after having a baby. Like, it's just unreal. Like, it affects people differently, but for me, for sure, like, being naturally quite petite, and I would say I'm still petite, but just things fit me differently, extra skin around my belly and just things like that. Like, I am so grateful to be able to even have a child, so I'm not complaining at all. It's hard to find yourself after you're used to something for so long. And so just being able to do those things that made me feel like who I was prior to having a baby, and kind of doing things in a way that's a bit more selfish, because I've just spent the last 2 years, and especially 2 years exclusively breastfeeding to my son. Like, he was always attached to me, so just being a bit more selfish in 2023 to prioritize self-care. Like, for the first year, oh my gosh, like, even just trying to wash my hair, like, was hard. So I know that sounds kind of gross and weird, but it is true. Like, when you are a new mom and a new parent, you're just so sleep deprived, so exhausted. It's just really hard. And there are beautiful moments to it too. I'm not trying to dish all the dirt on all the bad stuff, but I just want to be realistic with you guys, because it's true. Like, having children is a lot of work, and it's the most rewarding, the most important thing I feel like I've ever done. My biggest achievement today is having my son, and I just feel like creating a human is such a beautiful, magical experience, but there are a lot of, darker sides and darker truths to it as well. There's sacrifice when it does come to children, and so there should be, because they're another being in your life. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, for my happiness, getting myself to a point where I feel a lot more like myself is where I want to be with my happiness at this point. And so work, really, like, what 2019 also taught me, going through all the stuff that I kind of went through that year, was I want to love what I do and do what I love in my work. Yeah, like, money does play a massive role, but at the same time, I feel like now I'm just kind of like more admitting to myself that I would rather be in alignment and be on a lot less money to do the things that I want to do, rather than be constricted to getting a paycheck, getting a frequent, salary, and then like having panic attacks, or having, just like stressing going into work every day. Like, I want to be able to build something that I want and do. And I feel like that a lot of people can kind of get scared of that. And I was kind of scared of that, and I'm still kind of like trying to figure it all out. But at the same time, I'm just kind of trusting the process, that if you work on something, and you do enjoy it, that is a really good spot to be in. And so the things I'm building online at the moment, I really do enjoy, and I do love doing that. And I much prefer doing that over doing what I was doing in 2019, if I'm being completely honest. So that's just that in my work. My main priority is just to do something that I really love to do, and love what I do in my work as well. And so, of course, with work, I want to continue to build this community on YouTube and provide value to you guys. Hopefully something that I say in here might just either intrigue you, or just, help you, or figure something out for yourself just by looking at someone else's kind of plans. And of course this year I do want to increase my income, because eventually, as you may or may not know if you followed along, I do want to have this online world as a sustainable income for me that is going to be at a point where I am comfortable enough to be able to be like, yes, this is my bread and butter. I can survive off this now. This is going to be my financial way of being supported, hopefully. I know it's going to take a few years or whatever, but like I said before, it's not a rush to me. I'm grateful I'm in a position where I am supported in that way, and I just trying to build this on the side. I don't need to feel rushed, and if worse comes to worse, I can always go back teaching full time if that's what I want to do. And so that's just, I do want to build this online thing and have that opportunity to be home with my children or my kid at this point but just having multiple income streams that are going to allow me to be able to choose what I want to do, whether I do want to go back to full-time teaching or something else, or if I want to work on this full-time. So that is the goal at this point in time for work. Mindset, this year I want to focus on practicing a proactive mindset rather than a reactive mindset. Now, I'm someone that doesn't naturally have a reactive mindset, but I feel like that just needs to be put on my board so I can really get focused in on knowing that if something goes wrong or if something happens, because I can get stressed quite easily. My partner will know this, but yeah, like little things can stress me out, and I don't like to, be that person to be reactive straight away, and I'm working on that. But I'm very optimistic. I'm optimist by nature, but I just need to practice having more of a proactive mindset and like knowing, okay, I can figure it out, or we can figure out how to solve this situation, sort of thing. So with mindset, just trying to keep best alignment to my values for my mind, body and soul, for my health. And then again, just here mindset, be able to be adaptable to plans changing. Like I said, certain things that I wanted to get done last year weren't, and that's okay, because life is life, and that a lot of plans that we make don't always go the way that we expect them to. So that's just that, but just really being able to be adaptable at this point in my life and learning that, things can change and that's okay. And I feel like too, what's going to help me with my mindset is to journal about things that bring stress to my mind. I've been like, when I've really been stressed, I have reached out to my journal and I write in there, and it does make me feel better. So it's just having the time to do that. That's the hardest thing, but I have done it, and I've written things and I kind of read them back and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, wow, I didn't know that I was feeling that bad that day, so just getting it out on paper can sometimes just really help. So another thing for mindset is to listen to words of wisdom and positive things from others that inspire and lift me up, rather than listening to battery draining negativity. So after a while, if you are around negative people, if you're around negative talk, even the news, you guys, like, there's so much this world is big and it can be dark and it can be really scary at times. And just trying to surround yourself, not to be naive, but just trying to surround yourself with things that are going to fill you up with positive information, data into your brain. If you think of your brain as a computer, if you're uploading negative information, it's that's what your brain's filtering, the negative thing, and they're creating your truth out of that and how you feel about the world. So if you're listening to a lot of positive stuff, things that bring you value to your life, you're going to, I feel like, be in a better mindset, because you're feeding that computer, that brain, positive information. So I'm not trying to say toxic positivity or anything like that, but just, being selective with what you want to put into your ears, what you want to listen to, what you want to view as a person. If that is a computer that, is processing all the things that you look at on a day-to-day basis, just trying to be more selective with things that are positive and not going to drain your energy. That's just something that I want to say for my mindset goals. Wealth, I want to focus on spending money wisely rather than thoughtlessly. So in the past, I'm going to be honest here, in my earlier 20s, I wouldn't say I was thoughtless, but I would just say I probably bought an excess of certain things that I wouldn't say I didn't, I probably didn't need, like I mentioned before, I love beauty, I love makeup, and I used to spend way too much on makeup. Now, like, just this last year, I was so minimal with spending, on makeup that it shocked me, because in the years prior when I was at my full-time job, I just felt like the stress from my job would be like, okay, I deserve something because I've worked this long, stressful week. I'm going to buy myself something, and I'd end up spending way too much. So yeah, there's like $300 worth of makeup just in one go. And I'm like, okay, that has got to stop. So of course, having a baby humbles you. And yeah, I did not do that. And having all this time off has really made me respect money a bit more and think of money differently. So I'm grateful for that. And I think that's just my path lesson. And what I had worked out is like, I'd rather be kind of like more broke in some way than have like a lot more debt. So last year I was able to pay off my credit card, but I still owe some money to my parents for helping with that. But at least there's no interest on that, thank the Lord, because what gets you with a credit card is the interest rates. Like, you pay what you put that little bit extra, and then you just feel like you're just getting hit with interest fees all the time. So yeah, for me, I was just really grateful that, I have parents that were able to help out a little bit with that. And yeah, so I still owe them, but there's no interest and there's no deadline with that. So thank the Lord. And now obviously with the credit card situation, I don't have any credit cards. So, and I feel so much more. And I think listening to that podcast, She's on the Money, that has really kind of gave me the confidence to be like, I don't need the credit card, which is, whereas like 2019 me, I would be like, no, I need it just in case sort of thing. But now I'm like, let me do this on my own. Let me, try and save and be more strategic and more thoughtful about the money that I'm spending and how I'm utilizing money. So that's just a little thing about that. And these are lessons that, I'm in my later 20s and I'm learning lessons about money because I never had that financial literacy in my early years. So yeah, they're just things that you have to kind of learn sometimes on your own. And so anyway, saving more money and obviously putting more money towards things that can bring me money is something that I want to prioritize. And prioritize investing. I want to do more research into investing. Now I have started micro investing in ETFs. Like I haven't got that much in that, but I've started like the process of that. So I'm kind of just happy about that. My goal with that is like holding them for a long time. It's not going to be like a quick money. It's more of like a passive investing sort of thing where, yeah, it's not active investing, I would say, with my micro investing that I kind of got going on. But it's more the passive things. I've started with that. So I'm kind of happy that that's on the way with that. Even though it's only a little bit at this point, I'm just kind of dipping my toes in the water and just seeing how it feels and how I can do this and what kind of like things are involved in it really. So I've learned some things along the way from just doing that little part. And I've got a lot to learn still with that. But yeah, like I said here, don't settle for less happiness for more money. So like making choices that are in alignment to me, making choices that if I do this for more money, but that's less happiness, I'm sacrificing my future happiness as well as my current happiness for just the token of money. And in a situation where I'm so privileged to be able to kind of have that choice, yeah, the lessons that I have learned is sometimes it's not always about getting that paycheck, but what is fulfilling and doing something that you actually love to do is going to be more fruitful in the long run, probably. At least that's how I'm feeling about it at the moment. Don't get me wrong, money is good and it is nice to have, a good amount of money, but money doesn't fill certain holes. And so it's really about finding what you truly want to do and kind of becoming honest with yourself with that. Okay, so learning, I've got my little book here that I showed you in the beginning. So learning more about vesting, of course, that aligns to my wealth thing as well. And reading that book and just learning more about it in general. And again, like learning how to cook more meals. That's like on my go-to list because I really I have certain meals that I go to like each kind of week, but I want to like expand that. And I've never been one to be, if I'm going to be honest, like My sisters are much better cooks than I am. I'm kind of like the worst cook out of us. But I do try, and I want to try to become better at it. Like I do a lot of home cooked stuff, to be completely honest, but it's more fresh stuff that I put together rather than cooking. And that's not a problem, but I just want to learn more how to cook these healthy home meals. I love the idea of having this nice, meal, this nice dish, on like this nice vegetarian lasagna that I could put together, that I've done a few times. I just know how to make it already. So I just want to practice with my cooking a bit more as I'm getting into my later 20s. I'm like, I need to know how to cook a bit better than this, if that makes sense. So yeah, and then of course too, I want to make time to learn Adobe Illustrator. I have dabbled in it last year in 2022, but I found my time, that was one of the things that went on the back burner. The thing is, which annoys me, is I literally pay for it, for the Creative Cloud Studio suite, whatever it is, and it's like $58 a month, and I haven't used it. This annoys me more because I haven't used it. So I really want to put that on my board to be like, I need to make time to invest into learning this program, because I know that in the future that I could do something with this if I got to a point where I was fluent in it. So just like Procreate took a little while, Adobe Illustrator is like a whole different ball game, but I really want to get on that bandwagon. But at this point, Procreate, I love Procreate. I can't speak any higher of Procreate, love it. And I'm still learning Procreate still, but yeah, I just feel like I'm really comfortable at the moment with just what I'm trying to do. I need to do some more learning, but yeah, I'm really happy with Procreate at the moment. So getting into the more juicy and spicy things here. So family, friendships, future me, big dreams. Okay, I'm not going to show you all my big dreams because I feel like some of them are kind of like, I don't know, they're very, I guess, superficial in some way, but you got to have some superficial future things, right? Because that's just what it is. But let's go into these. So family. So this year we are planning to go to England. So we're going to go see our family in the UK. So my little son will get to see his uncle and auntie for the first time. He'll be almost 3 by then. But yeah, that's just the cost that happens. Sorry, my dog in the background. When you do live so far away. So yeah, it'd be so nice to go and do that trip this year. So another thing that I have on my list is every Sunday I want to, we do this pretty well, me and my partner, but every Sunday do something together as a family. I like doing things like just going down to the park, having an ice cream kind of thing. It doesn't have to be an ice cream, but just doing something with my little son every Sunday. I kind of want to just make that into a little tradition or a little routine or something. But we do that pretty well, but I just want to keep that going. That's why it's on my vision board. I want to do a few more road trips and experience new places together as a family. And this is the juicy part. So at the end of this year, we are probably looking at trying to expand our family to 4, maybe. So we're going to see how that goes. And I also obviously want to get my son accustomed to Lola and Lolo, which is grandma in Filipino. So my son calls his grandma Lola. Lola means grandma in Filipino, and Lolo, he just calls my dad grandpa because he's not Filipino, but he could call him Lolo if he was speaking to my mum, sort of thing. But I want my son to grow up with grandparents because I never really did. So I just want to make sure that we make the effort to go see my parents more, and luckily enough they only live around the corner, so that's going to be very doable, thank goodness. So friendships, I want to do more lunch dates and movie dates with friends in 2023. So recently I went and watched the Avatar, the water one, the second one, and oh my goodness, I loved it. It was so good. I would watch it again. And I went with a girlfriend. It was just us, and it just made me feel like, oh my goodness, this feels like the old me. As much as you love your children, or when you're a mum, it's so much special to be able to just go out and have a minute to yourself. Oh my goodness. So I really enjoyed going out to the movies because I hadn't been for literally years, probably over 3 to 4 years since I had been to the movies. So it was just such a nice time. It was a spontaneous move. We weren't even planning to go to the movies, and then we just did it, and it was just fun. And so I really want to do more of that actually this year with friends. And I kind of want to also reach out to to friends that are newer that I've met last year or old, and just kind of see how they're going, just keeping up to date and just making the effort for those people that make the effort in return for me. So I met a few new friends last year that I kind of want to keep the relationship going with, so I want to reach out to those people and kind of see if they want to hang out and stuff like that. I want to do that. And so I'm just going to show you a couple. I don't want to show you too many things on here because I'm getting a bit shy. But my future me big dream. So of course, majority of people have this as a future dream, but financial freedom is 100% one of those things. So I want this though from doing something I love. I want to feel like money is abundant in my life, and I want to feel like there's security with doing something that I love, like taking the chance on doing something I enjoy to do. You know, when you're working and you're doing something that you don't enjoy, it's like it feels like forever. Like, how long? I don't want to be doing something that I feel like I'm waking up to and I'm like, oh, this again. Like, I want to be energized. I want to do something. I'm like, let's do this today. I'm excited to do this today. I want to wake up feeling that way. Work is such a long time of your life, and I want to do something that brings me joy and also energizes me rather than just stresses me out, if that makes sense. So another thing I have is like pay off the mortgage. So we obviously have a mortgage here in Australia, and so I want to be able to help with, obviously I can't really at this point in time because the amount of money I'm earning compared to my partner is not really something to live off, you know. So I'm grateful that, you know, my partner is very supportive in that way, but I would like to in the future, and as the business grows, to help put money towards that to pay our mortgage off in under 10 years. So it's a 30-year contract at this point, but we want to try and, you know, pay that off ASAP. So that is a big goal of ours. Like, whether that's possible or not, we don't know, but we're going to try, see if we can, and that would be amazing to do that. Now, this is something I've never really mentioned, but in my, like, this is something that I want to kind of, this is future me. Like, I want to write a children's book or two. Like, in the future, I guess where I see myself heading is going into that direction. I know this is kind of a little bit different to the whole TPT online world, but I really want to write a children's book in the future. I want to illustrate it, I want to write it, and yeah, this is just like a long-term project. Like, even if I'm like older when I do this, that's okay, but I just want to keep it on my vision board now in my 20s so that I can, you know, get that manifested or something, or like just have it as a priority in the future. That's like future me though. And of course, like, this is not something that I, you know, feel the need to have, but it would be really nice to have. And of course, like, being on YouTube, eventually I would love to get to the 100k subscribe button. It's baby steps, you guys. Like, I'm under 2,000 subscribers now, but you know, I am just so happy that I've even got to that 1,000. You know, I'm just so happy with, you know, this channel and just the little community I'm cultivating here. I'm really happy with that, and I feel fulfilled with just that amount of people. To get that would just be an extra bonus, and I just want to add that just to help with the manifestation side of things in the future. And of course, I want to buy an investment property, and I won't go into the last few, a bit too superficial. Maybe in another video I'll show that if you want me to, but they're just kind of like cars that I kind of maybe would like in the future. One of them's pretty a bit more like higher end but I do like a nice looking car, and I do like a bit of a sporty kind of car, and I can appreciate a nice car. And so anyway, they're just some things that I've got on my vision board. I'm so sorry if this was so long, but I just feel like this is kind of just showing you an inner workings of my brain, how I've organized it. And if I want to switch something out, super easy, I can just edit it, add some more things, and I can also look at this on my phone. So if I go to sleep and I'm like, what am I working on? Let me check my vision board. That's something I can just pull up on my phone really quick and easy. So that is that. I might just quickly see you in my talking head to finish off this video because we are getting a little bit long now. Okay, we're back here at my talking head. So I'm sorry that was so long, but I just really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty of that. What I am going to say as well is a few things also lastly that I wanted to kind of mention to what I'm going to do in the business for 2023 is I really want to kind of course, increase revenue this year. So I want to try and figure out ways to build up that revenue, but I want to also give all of my like storefronts a nice refresh on TPT. So just refreshing that, feeling like hopefully by the end of January I can feel like those are nice and refreshed for the year ahead. So I want to do that, refreshing the storefronts. And I will just quickly give you a sneak peek into this too. So I have branched out to the Australian Teachers Marketplace. I might actually do a separate video on this in the future. But I've actually even made my first sale on there, so it's really encouraging. As I was mentioning in my video, like the future of TPT, like I did want to say I do want to focus on TPT, but I am not afraid to reach out and branch out to other platforms at this time. And oh goodness gracious, like what has happened in the last few weeks in TPT world is just crazy town. And if you are involved in the TPT community, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It involves ads, it involves, you know, people being treated in a certain way over certain files. I'm not gonna bring it up too much because I don't want to draw negative attention to that, but yeah, a lot of things have happened from what, you know, I've been following along, and there have been waves in the TPT community over this. I don't know how much I should really say about it because again, like I'm gonna kind of just see from the sidelines what happens and see how I feel about it, and then I might kind of like approach it in a video maybe. I don't know, I don't even know yet, but there's just some things that have happened. So this has been happening over the last year, even like the changes that have happened have led certain people to really feel like branching out, this is the time to do that. And I'm feeling like I want to kind of be on that bandwagon too, to make sure that I have security in different areas, not just reliant on TPT, if that makes sense. So yeah, I have made my very first sale on the Australian Teachers Marketplace, which is like supposed to, it's very, very new. But I've only got 4 things uploaded at the moment, but I have made one sale I'm really happy about. So it's just encouraging to keep uploading to that site. It is only for Australian sellers, and I am looking at maybe another platform to sell on also. But yeah, positive news from that. I'm excited about the Australian one because obviously I feel I'm in Australia, and I feel like that's more, I understand that probably market maybe a little bit more, don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And this year I do want to kind of maybe think about too doing the whole website. I am going to be working on my website, I just don't know when that will be released. I want to spend some time doing the website, doing obviously YouTube videos, and looking into seeing if I have enough time or if I can make the time to do the whole email or a newsletter or something to kind of promote more exclusivity to a potential customer or person that wants to know more about the business and what I have to offer, sort of thing. That's just something that I kind of am looking at doing. And so that's that. Personal wise, I mentioned in my vision board, business and body are things that I'm really kind of prioritizing this year, especially my health, very much my health, getting back into feeling strong in my body. It's not even for aesthetics anymore. It's like literally just to feel good, to feel strong, and to feel good in the skin that I'm in. So making the effort for the gym. I really want to get back to the gym, like at least minimum 2 to 3 times a week. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to kind of get myself into that mind frame to be able to do that. Then possibly expanding the family in the later end of the year. We'll see how we go with that. And yeah, I'm looking at, of course, continuing doing the income reports, and then also doing more clip art videos, maybe more PowerPoint tutorials, some more Procreate stuff. And I also want to do some more updated how-to videos, because it's inevitable when someone starts something, the first time you do those kind of things, they're not as good as your future ones will be. So for me, like, you know, when I started this whole YouTube thing, I was told, you know, your first 100 videos are gonna kind of be crap. So I don't think my videos are crap, but I just know I've got a long way to go. Like, I need to be more succinct with how I speak. I need to not be so rambly. I struggle with that a lot. I'm just like a rambler. I don't know how to, you know, get more succinct with that. I'm trying, but I just, every time it ends up being more of a longer video. I'm like, how did this happen? It was supposed to be 10 minutes. Don't know. I need to figure that out, get myself a bit more snappy or figure that out. And anyway, I just want to do those kind of things for 2023 and then see what else that 2023 is going to bring for me. So with that said, thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry I've been away. Thank you for your patience. If you have come to this video and you've been waiting for a video, the next one I'm going to do, I will be doing my income report, and I know that's been so long in the making. Like, it should have been out the first week of January, but here we are towards the end of January and I'm going to be releasing an income report. But I just hope that you can understand, with having COVID and just all the stuff of December and everything that's happening in my life, like, I've got a lot going on. So I appreciate anyone that understands. If you are a parent, you'll know how busy you get. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the comments, and I'm sorry if I haven't been able to get back to all of you guys. I do see the comments, and if I do like it or love it, I have read it, and I'm just sorry if I haven't got the chance to get back to you. I will try and make more of an effort to be able to respond to all my comments. I really do appreciate when you take the time. Like, it really means a lot to me. So thank you once again, and I will see you in my next video, which will be the income report, to see how I went in December. Yeah. Alright guys, thanks once again. Wishing you health, wealth and happiness in your TPT journey and in life. And right now I'm gonna stick to my vision board. I'm gonna go to the gym. Alrighties, see you guys. Adios.